Didn't want to say goodbye. I was just peeling potatoes or something, and they walked in and started talking about straw and mud and bricks all were.
How he was going to build a house. Crazy. I said, why? Well, he said they couldn't stay at their mom.
Well, I couldn't believe my ears. They all came over to say goodbye and to ask for my email address.
Welcome to our story, The Three Little Pigs. Today we have three witnesses who are going to share their version and perspective. We'll start with you, Alpha. You lived across the street from the Three Little Pigs. Tell us just a bit more, please.
Yeah, got that right. I mean, we all knew them, but I would say that I played with them the most, so all three of them. Sleepovers, birthday parties, the whole package.
Okay, but one day something changed.
Yeah, I came over to say goodbye. I was just peeling potatoes or something, and they walked in and started talking about straw and mud and bricks, all really loud and noisy and crying. I'm sorry.
Oh my.
Sorry, let me try to remember. Okay, yes. Jerry was very excited to get going. He thought it was the best day of his life. The idea was they had to move out, leave their mom, go live somewhere else. They couldn't stay at home anymore, at least not for much longer. Harvey and Cameron, they were nervous about it, so they didn't say much at first. We had tea, cookies, talked about their plans and stuff, and, well, then we talked about the wolf.
Okay, let's switch to Bravo. Hey Bravo, how are you doing today?
Doing fine. Doing fine.
Do you remember Jerry, Harvey and Cameron?
Oh, Harvey was my piano student. I was teaching him piano for 5 years. He was great. Always good with the black keys. Yeah, flats and sharps. And Jerry and Cameron were his brothers, so yeah, I saw them all the time. The others didn't want to learn piano. I remember that.
Okay, so do you remember when they moved out of the village?
Yes, that was quite the drama. I met them in the street. Well, actually, I met Cameron. He told me how he was going to build a house. Crazy. I said, why? Well, he said they couldn't stay at their mom's house anymore. She was kicking them out. Cameron wasn't happy about that. Needed to build a house. Who heard of such a thing? Of course, he didn't know anything about building houses, so he was going to the library and get some books, read up, and so on. He told me about the others, Jerry, Harvey. They were going to use straw, mud? I don't know. It sounded bad to me. Of course, I asked him, what about the wolf?
Yes, we'll get to the wolf. But here is Charlie. What's up, Charlie?
Oh, hey, just having a good time here. So you wanted to talk about the pigs?
Yes, I heard you were the medical doctor at the time in the village, so you knew them quite well?
For sure. I'm still the doctor around here. Yes, I was present at their births, vaccinations, everything. All of the time growing up. They were well taken care of course. They were a healthy bunch. I did like them, all three of them. They were a good group of fellas. Cameron was a bit taller than the others, but you knew that, right?
Do you know about when they started building houses?
Well, I couldn't believe my ears. They all came over to say goodbye and to ask for my email address. Since we saw each other all the time in the streets, they hadn't needed it before, but now they said they wanted to keep in touch because they'd be moving out of town. I guess their mother had told them they needed to be more independent or something. The old house was falling apart. Well, it seemed like a good idea at the beginning, but then, of course, you know about the wolf.
Yes, okay, so you can see we're going to have an excellent time going over the sequence of events here. Let's talk to Alpha again. So Alpha, Jerry wanted to build a house out of straw, right? Or was it straws?
Yes. Straw. I don't know where he got the idea, but Jerry was very excited about it. His mom told them to use bricks, not mud, not straw, not anything flimsy. And someone else said to him, "Where are you going to find all that straw anyway?" And that did throw him off at first, but then he said, "Straw is everywhere. It's not going to be a problem." And it wasn't. He hadn't even walked that far down the road, and we saw a man with a load of straw, and it looked so warm, and it smelled so good that Jerry totally forgot about everything his mom had said. "Please, Mr. Man," he said, "may I have enough straw to build a home that will keep me warm through the long winter?" And the man gave him all the straw he wanted and walked on. And we talked about the wolf. That was so shocking when that happened. Everyone was shocked.
What about the wolf?
The big, bad wolf. Well, the house was done in no time. I mean, obviously, house made of straw is like throwing a house in a sheet of paper. Oh my. Well, Jerry thought the house was done. So he walks in, sits down, looks here, looks there. I think he's planning a housewarming party, if I remember correctly. The wolf walks up, knocks on the door, knocks again, and he says, little pig, let me come in."
That's kind of rude.
Definitely rude, right? Yeah, thank you. So the pig answers, "Not by the hair on my chinny chin chin." "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down." And the wolf huffs, puffs, blows the house in, and he eats Jerry.
That was not nice. Well, so we did get quite far into the action here. Straw house built, wolf came, blew the house in, ate up Jerry. Let's find out about Harvey. I think Bravo knew more about how Harvey did. Okay, Bravo, can you walk us through what Harvey did, building a house and so forth?
Yes, the mud and leaves idea was, of course, crazy. Who builds a house out of mud and leaves? Well, I guess there's that cob method, but that's not what Harvey was thinking about. Actually, he talked to many of the other pigs who had houses, and none of them could convince him that he was wasting his time. And also, did he know about the wolf? Well, then finally his mother told all of them they must use bricks to build their houses. No straw, no mud. He was, devastated. You could see it. Lasted a few days, but then he walked around the forest just to clear his mind. And when he left the forest, he ran along, and presently he met a man with a great load of leaves. "Oh, kind Mr. Man, please give me some leaves to build me a little house for the winter time," cried Harvey. Well, the man was willing to do this. He gave him all the leaves he wanted, and then he went on his way.
Oh, okay, this sounds like he wanted to do the right thing, but it just didn't last.
Who? The man?
Yes, the man wanted to help out.
Yes, but it was for nothing. See, Harvey took a while to build his house, but it came together. We even visited when it was all shiny and new, looked around all the rooms, at the window, just in the morning, but had to leave soon. Next thing we hear, no more house, no more Harvey either. Because just after we left, along came a wolf and said, little pig, let me in." No, not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." "Well," said the wolf, "then I'll puff and I'll huff and I'll blow your house in." So he huffed and puffed and he puffed and he huffed and at last blew the house down and ate up the second little pig, Harvey.
Okay, well, that's maybe not that shocking the second time around. How about you, Charlie? What did you know about what happened?
Well, you've seen Cameron, have you? Always so focused, so serious looking and determined. And always with a notebook in his pocket. Always taking notes. Always thinking about so many things. Not always serious stuff. but still concentrated and focused and all of that. Well, his mother said that he must use bricks for the construction. At first he wanted to use paper, really quite clueless, but then he did some research and he convinced himself that bricks were just so much better. It's always impressive when someone changes their mind because of good reasons and stuff. So then he set out to find a suitable source for bricks. I mean, who knows where to find bricks? You hardly need them in your day-to-day life. So he spent quite a long time looking for bricks, and he wound up getting lost in the forest one day. And after he found his way out of the forest, he ran into a man with a wagon load of straw, but he didn't ask for any of it. And then he ran into a man with a wagon load of leaves, but he didn't ask for any of that either. And then he ran into a man with a wagon load of bricks, and he stopped and he begged so prettily for the bricks to build himself a little house that the man just couldn't refuse him. And so Cameron took those bricks and he built himself a little red house, and it wasn't easy. And when he was done, it wasn't as soft as the straw house, and it wasn't as warm as the leaf house, but it was a strong, sturdy house, totally ready for the wolf.
So that house was not blown in?
No. When the wolf came, he said, like he said to all the others, little pig, let me in." And Cameron said, "No, not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." And the wolf said, "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." Well, the wolf huffed and he puffed and he huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed, but he couldn't blow the house in. And so when the wolf realized that with all of his huffing and puffing, he just could not blow that house down, he said, well, I think I've come to the end of what I know about this. I think that Cameron played some games with the wolf. The wolf tried to trick him this way and that way, but Cameron was always one step ahead. One step ahead. So he had some fun with the wolf that way. Well, anyways, I've got to go. I've got things to do. We'll catch up about this some other day.
Okay, my dear listeners. Well, we got this far. Quite illuminating, isn't it? Who would have thought? Family doctor, piano teacher. Pretty wild, isn't it?